As 1990 came around, Interlagos was back. The first race at Interlagos, since local hero Ayrton Senna's eruption into Formula One, was always going to have an enormous impact on the Brazilian Grand Prix. And 1990 did just that. For Alain Prost and Jean-Marie Balestre, the corrupt president of the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, the crowd were not so welcoming. Memories were still raw in the minds of fans after what some may say was a controversial end to the 1989 season. With Senna disqualified, Prost was crowned 1989 world champion, something the Brazilian fans were naturally not all that thrilled about.
Dagli l'acqua.
Honestly, I didn't care about Ayrton today because it was a Brazilian Grand Prix. I just wanted to do well and wanted to win this race because we expected to be very competitive at the beginning of the year because we've done very good tests in the winter, and the first race was very bad for us, and I just wanted to push hard from the beginning, and I'm very, very happy. And for me, for sure, it's maybe my best win in my career. I mean, with the first with Ferrari after only 2 races, and also for the team it's fantastic because we have a new car, new engine coming in Imola, and I think it's a good start of the season.
It's a very tough race physically for you, I understand.
Yeah, it's a tough race anyway because it will be almost all the races going to be very tough this year. The performance of the car very high, but I was sick in the last week. I had a stomach problem, and my only big problem today was I had some cramp during the race, and especially at the end, maybe because I was afraid also to lose it.
I had a lot of small problems. It's typical for a new car, new driver together with a new car. In the beginning, I think the front pressure went wrong, front tires, I got some understeer. I still have some gear change problem. I still am not happy with the gearbox. Gets better on the end of the race. I get more and more used, and then I get big pain in my leg from braking. And then I still start to push Alan. I get to 7 seconds, and then I hear the pairing of the clutch. Again, the similar problem than I had in Phoenix, I think, and then I just try to keep my second place.
Ayrton, 3rd place, you're still leading the championship, but you must be very disappointed not to have won this one at home.
Of course, I think we did lots of things all over the weekend, and we had everything all right. We had a good start, good beginning of the race and good pace. The car was not perfect, but was reasonable good. I was able to beat the same with Gerhard at the beginning. He was a little bit faster, but then he fell back, and then I improved a little bit the pace, and I was opening the gap slowly just to be safe later in the race. We come to a pit stop, and I had a problem with the left rear tire. Somehow we lost more time there. I had a big moment with Patrese under braking as I come out of the pits. He tried to overtake me inside. Luckily I escaped. He lost his car under braking. And then I was between 10 and 14 seconds with Prost and was pretty much under control. The car was good, and I had a good feeling for it. But I came up to Nakajima, I stayed behind him 4 or 5 corners, and when I come up to then eventually take him, he opened the door. When I am just about halfway beside him, he come back without notice. I tried to brake, I avoid touching wheel to wheel, but he took my nose off, and then that was it.